Today is our Ruby Jam, and I will talking about why do we need Vue component in your coding life. This is gonna be all English because before I prepare is all English. So if you have any question, I can explain it in Chinese. Okay. So I'm gonna introduce myself. My Chinese name is 𝗲𝘂𝗯𝘆, and people call me Cadie. When you see my name, maybe you will realize that I'm not Taiwanese. Because yes, it's true because I'm from Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, and I have I'm studying and working in Taiwan since November 2017, and this is sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay. Yes. So my Chinese is much better than my English, but I try my best to use my English to talk to you today. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So my major in information communication, and I'm come from 𝗥𝘂𝗯𝘆 University, and this is my bachelor degree. After I finished my bachelor degree in 𝗥𝘂𝗯𝘆 University, I go to 5X Ruby company right now, and I am right now full-time in website developer. I'm just study Ruby on Rails like almost 1 year. So right now I'm just like a beginner for you guys. You all like a senior in here. So thank you so much for coming here today. So I'm not gonna talking about how to like set up or any like installation because you can find it from Vue component website. So I'm gonna introduce a little bit about Vue component, and I'm gonna talk about Vue component comparison with partial, and talk about like and unlike about Vue component, and finally it's like conclusion and QA. Yeah, in introduce Vue component. I don't know if any of you have used Vue component before. Have you? Yeah, like few of you have used Vue component before. So this is a really cool feature for Ruby on Rails, and it's a framework for creating reusable and testable, flexible for Ruby on Rails. And it's, of course, because it's components, so it can reusable. But the really cool thing in here is like it can be testable. Over here is like a little bit about when you generate a component from Vue component, is gonna have like initialize for you to like set up your class. So when you want to test it, it's really familiar way to test like a Ruby on Rails test, like unit test, and they said it's like some really fast test in here, so you can, when you use this test, it's like so much faster than the normal Rails Vue test. Okay, so over here is like when you want to call the Vue component, you can go to say like render inline, and it's directly to call Vue component, and you put your value over here, and you have to make sure that everything like you put in your in the component can be like present in your Vue, right? So it's like over here like H1 because when in your ERB file is have H1, so you have to make sure when you put name value, it's gonna be hello world. So the test would be hello world. Yes, it's really cool because for me, even when I don't really want to write a lot of tests, but sometimes you have to make sure that after every action, like click or something, you have to make sure that the test will be the right test that you want. And it is inspired by React. Yes, because every component right now is like come from like a base React, because we just want everything look like really can be reusable, and your code view will be like look organized. So GitHub were created to like let their own work, their own website to work well, because you know, like GitHub, they have like a really big website company, so they have to make sure that all the code can be reused. So they created to help their code file to be look more organized. Yeah, that is my view component. If you want to have like a, and this is like view component website. So in here you can go and, sorry. Yeah, they just put a gem in your file and bundle, and you will get like view component in your project. Yeah, I'm not gonna talking about this today because it's like really easy to use in your project. So I'm gonna talk about like view component and partial. Like we use partial every day, and in every project, every pages, we always want our code look clear and look tidy. So we use partial every day. But what if you use view component? For sure, it's gonna be like 10 times faster than partial, because there is like benchmark. There have like a comparison between so many different tools. And right here we have like view component and partial. You can see like partial is like so much slower than view components, almost 10 times. So what if you have like so many partial files in your project, and you just use view component, and it's make your website render so much faster. And it will help you to reduce like a partial file in your project. Can you imagine like when you have like a website like this? Sorry in Vietnamese, but I just want to show you like a modern website. They have so many section color like this. So regularly we're gonna do it like one section color is like one partial. Like normally we're gonna use like that way, but it's gonna be so many files, so it's hard for you to manage everything. So what if this one is like view one component, and you're gonna put the values like over here they have title, and then they have content, and over here they have like a picture. It's gonna help your website render so much faster, and it's easy for you to manage. It's gonna be more complexity than partial, because you have to like set up everything when you use view component, like your file. You have to, for example, over here you have to put like a title over here, and then content variable is like really simple one, but it's still like more complexity than partial. In partial, you only need to copy paste and then render it at wherever place in your website. Okay, I'm gonna talk about like and unlike about view component. At first, I'm gonna talk about what I like about view component. It's like saving me a lot of time in the future for reuse, because I understand that when you create a view and you have to think about like component that you need, and you have to thinking about like the design, the logic in various situation and it's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be like investment for the future, because in the future then you only need to like copy and paste it whatever in your project, and then you don't need to like fix any like Tailwind or CSS. And over here, especially when you work in like a team, so you don't need to like worry about you're gonna have so many unused code. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna show you a little bit about my view component. When I use it in my index file, over here I only need this part is my view component. And I can reuse it so many of them, like compared to this one. Can you imagine like how long is it? And you have to put so many of them in your file, and you have to put it in partial. But if you use it in the way view component, it's gonna look like three rows, 3 lines like this, and with the variable that you want to put it in, and that's it. It's so much faster, and you can reuse it so many times. Like, and the other thing I like is like I can separate the logic of the controller and its own logic. It's like over here, for me, I have so many conditions over here to make sure like everything gonna work well in my HTML file. But and like it's gonna separate the file when you generate. Like over here they have like ERB file and RB file. So when you set up initialize everything, it's gonna go to RB file, Ruby object. And if you want your HTML file look really clear, like they only have everything that you need. Over here is like separate it. So that's why I like the way that it's made view component. And it's really easy for me to manage everything. Like for me, what if your client, they change their mind? They don't want that content in how many pixels, and they want to change it in the future. And can you imagine like you have to change so many files? But if you use like view component, you only need to change it in here, like in the HTML file, all the class, when they use it, it's gonna be the same. So you only need to change it one time. So it saves so much time, it's easy for me to manage. I'm not gonna like, I don't need to test it again. Yeah. And I don't like about view components is not that much because I don't use it that often, but I think I like view component more than I unlike it. So I only unlike it. The structure is like kind of complexity when the first time that you set up, and when you deploy it, it's gonna be kind of everything gonna have a little bit complexity. Like can you see here? Like it's only just condition and stuff, but you have to figure out and you have to read the document to make sure that you're gonna use it right. And they have so many different things, like it could be like a slot, a content, and blah blah blah, and it's gonna make you have to spend a lot of time to do it. Yes. And here's like I didn't prepare that much, so sorry, but in my conclusion right now, it's like I feel Vue components is like the good choice for you if you are in the 𝗥𝘂𝗯𝘆, like a big project, and you have to manage it for a long time. I believe that Vue component can help you to like make your project more organized, more tidy, and when you work in the large team, you can avoid that people gonna make their code in their own way. So it's gonna make a lot of like one-time code. So yeah, if you use Vue component, it's gonna be really, really good, and it can build more consistent UI for a long-term project, and you can be copy-paste to other project if you want, yeah. But then if you only have like a simple project, I think you don't need to use Vue component. You can use partial to make like save your time, and you don't want to like spend a lot of time at the beginning to like make a lot of component, and then you only use it like 2 or 3 times in your whole project. I feel like then you just use partial, and it still work really fast in your project. And yeah, so okay, I'm gonna talk like before. I told you like I can test this. I also can do RSpec test with this. Like normally we get used to do the RSpec test, right? So over here I have like a test for my test field component. Is like really easy. I need to make sure that I will render it and the variable over here, and I need to make sure like the test gonna be this one, and over here is gonna have, and over here you see over here is like it's like content. I need to make sure that the content over here when I use it. Where is it? Okay. Oh, here. This is content. It's like the variable of Vue component to give us to let we like can put more the we want to add when we use it, and I have to make sure that my content gonna render is for sure. So yeah, that is the test for Vue component. It's like really easy test, but sometimes you still have to make it. And over here, okay, over here, this is my component. Like everything is gonna render in here, which is one component, and every like you can use it this way, only like email, normal email, but sometimes you need like helper test. This part gonna be my content, because sometimes I need it, sometimes I don't, and I will just like make sure like when I use my content, it's gonna be red or any other class. And it also have like an arrow, and sometimes you have to use some prefix to make sure that everything gonna be work well. Over here, you can apply it in every other text field in your project, and you can copy paste it into other project too. It's really fast. It saves me so much time. Like I use Tailwind, but is this one gonna be like a future? Like I don't need to write a lot of Tailwind anymore. Like yeah. Yes. This today. Do you have any question for today? It's not that hard, so I think you don't have any question.
大家尽量问问题啊，如果他回答不了的东西，会有别人帮他回答，所以尽量问没关系。
Hi.
I don't know why they can reduce the number of partial files. Because you can still use a single one partial file, but with different variable passing as a local variable to them. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't understand why we can use view component to reduce the number of partial files.
Because sometimes like you have for example, I have like a really long HTML code over here, and you want to put it in partial, right? Like normally you would put it in, you would separate it into partial, but when you use view component, because it's only 3 lines of code, so you don't need to put it in partial. That's why you can reduce your partial file. Is it what you're asking?
I still don't understand.
Yeah, because for example, if I have a bunch of text field over here, but then I have also other thing, like usually I will put my text field or any part section of it into partial, but because I put it because I use view component, so when I use it, I don't need to like separate everything into partial anymore, and your file still looks short. Is it?
But actually, we can pass variable to partial.
Yeah, I know we can pass. Yeah, but it's gonna make a lot of partial, and it's gonna be like unused. Like you cannot reuse in the future. And if you use this one view component, your teammates, they can look at it when they use over here. What is it? It's lookbook. They can render your view component in here, so you can make sure that the component that you make, your partner can see it over here, and then they can copy this line and they can reuse it. You don't need to like talk to them. Oh, you can use this one. I don't because sometimes when you work in a large team, you don't communicate with each other a lot. So what if other people already make that partial, but you don't know? When you use view component, you can see it. Oh, it's already happened, so you can reuse it really fast. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is lookbook an alternative tool for storybooks? But for
It's like it's really like it's the same. Yeah. For view component, yeah, it's an extension for view component. Yeah, you can also use storybook too, if you want. They have extension over here. Yeah, they also have their own preview view component, but I feel like it's so ugly, so I prefer to use lookbook. Thank you so much for
thank you.
asking. Do you have any question? You can also ask me in Chinese. Oh, hi.
First of all, thank you for sharing. And my question would be like, how do you handle like similar components but with different CSS? Like, for example, like there are tabs below the section, like there are source and notes. But if like there's a situation like you want a kind of
get you. Thank you so much for asking question. Is it like button, right?
Yeah,
It's-
maybe.
yeah, button. For example, like button. They have like fill button, line button, and also like they have like round button, right? Eh. I know I used it before, but over here I don't have example. Sorry. So sorry. It's just gonna be something you can set up it here. Like, for example, they have like cons type. Class, and then you can put, for example, like field. Oh, I cannot see anything. Yeah, and then you put your CSS in here, something like this, and that then you can use it like a normal class, like class name. Yeah, in your. Mm.
Is it possible for the user to customize the CSS style as a parent? Like when you
Oh.
the component object, is that kind of like available or is that suggest to user?
Yes, they can, but you want user to use it, like change the right?
For developers.
Oh, for developer.
Yeah.
Okay. For developer to use it in lookbook, yes, you can. Something like you can go to lookbook and they have like a variable in here. They're gonna change it. Yeah, in here. But then you cannot use it in your project like this way. Yeah, you can only just preview it here. Like that's why I use it in my project.
对啊，你的问题应该是说你想要知道说同一个 button 如果要换不同 CSS 怎么办这件事情，对不对？好，那其实他刚讲的是 lookbook 的部分啦，但你要把它当一个变数要传进 initialize 里面，当然是没有问题的，只是你要这么写而已。对，那因为 component 还有一个好处叫做继承，你可以继承的，对，可以用继承的，就是你用同一个 base component 来继承不同 component， 那个每一个 sub class 下面可以就再有自己的 CSS。如果你假设你有 button， 跟刚刚说的不同类型的 button， 那他们基底的 button 可能有大部分的 CSS 是一样，但可能某些地方不一样，那你可以用继承。
所以它会有 button
对，它可能 button 东西是继承原本的 button。对，那你的继承部分的至少 Ruby 的那一部分东西，或是大部分的 view 是可以重用，所以这也是它的好处之一。对。
Thank you.
基本上还有两种用法，第一个是我在我的那个 view component 里面定义我的 CSS class 的 mapping， 所以我一种 type， 假设我黄色的是一组 CSS class， 绿色的是一组 CSS class， 所以我根据我传进去的参数，我决定我的 button 长什么样，是什么颜色，这是一个。第二个做法是，你可以你就把 class 的字串当成参数传进去 component， 然后我从 partial 里面把不同的 class 的一些小变化传进去 component， 然后 component 负责把它组起来，这也是蛮常用的做法。那如果你嫌继承那个数量越长越庞大的话，不好，我也觉得会乱的话，那你可以用。我是个人是比较偏向用 mapping 的，我是比较喜欢用 mapping 的方式做。
Thank you. Do you have any other question? Sorry, I didn't answer the right question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You can. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Why not? But if you have a lot of partial, then why don't you use view component and just make your view renders faster? Like before, I tell you, like they have like benchmark comparison. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah.
常常在网站上会有 poll 这样的一个形式，
Actually, there is people do that, but for me, I don't recommend to use like that because your form gonna be like so many different things. I don't know how to say, but I don't use it that way because it's more complicated. But maybe other people will think different. Yes, I'm not recommended. Maybe.
你想问的问题就是说，因为你想问的应该是跟 form object 有关系啦。你想问的应该是因为 Redis 的 form object 是 Redis 最强大的部分之一。对，那的确在 build component 的实践之中最大的一个就是比较难怎么讲呢？因为 form object 太好用了啦，所以你可能会觉得说它没那么容易套到 form 上面去。当然，其实这样是可以的，因为你当成理论上你把 form object 的那个 object 当成它 initialize 的参数值以及传进去，那当然做得到的。那只是说在于你要不要写传统的 form object sub class， 还是要去写 build component 的。那当然还是取决于你觉得这个东西有没有复杂到需要做这件事情。当然，他讲这个 lookbook 是算是非常非常重要的功能之一，因为它可以看。对，那当然可以看的，就是前提还有说，它现在传进去参数应该都是比较单纯的东西啊。如果你要传物件进去，可能就会是一个麻烦。那如果今天你的专案规模觉得需要做这件事情的时候，那你可以混合上去使用，就是你基本上因为写 Redis 人是不可能脱离 form object 的，对，所以你可以表面是 form object， 但是里面 render 的时候可以 render view component， 这个是应该没有问题。对。
Thank you.
它比较大的。
通常有两种做法，一个做法是 view component 到 form helper， 另外一种做法是 form helper 直接由 view component 来实做。看你要做哪一种程度。后者实做，其实你在Redis的话，你如果有做过Redis form builder 的话，你知道你需要定义每个 input。那你的 input 的话，你原本是用 content tag 或是之类的方式去组它，你把它 content tag 直接改成 view component， 就是
像刚刚
等一下，我现在问一下在场的，就是年轻人来说，你们有多少人写过自己的 form builder sub class？
年轻人。
对，不是年轻，确一下，对，后面的各位年轻人，你们有多少人写过自己的 form builder？ 知道什么是 form builder 吗？就是你那个form 4之后的那个 f， 为什么 form 4之后可以用 f， 然后 f 点叉叉 text field 可以出来东西，这个就是 form builder。对，你有没有写过自己的 form？ 就是例如说，今天假如我要写一个就是像讲用 simple form 啦 ，simple form 就是一个别人写好的 form builder 啦。对，就是你自己去写那个 class， 就是如果你有的时候你需要你写一个比较综合性的input，或是有一个外面一层东西去包住，例如说你用 bootstrap form， 那个叫 bootstrap form 吧，其实或 simple form 其实都是同样的东西，你有自己写过那个东西，所以他刚刚讲的 form builder 就是那个东西。我刚刚讲的，他之所以比较难 build component 比较没办法取代的地方，是因为就是这个东西原本就是 Redis 的大杀器，对，就是如果你有写过别的东西，别的程式语言写 Web， 再回来你就知道这个差别在哪里。对，但前提是你要知道自己怎么写。他刚讲的那个东西就是这个东西啦。
对，其实所以比较简单的话是用 view component 去包 form helper， 这比较简单，你比较容易做。但是如果你的 form builder 你想要高度掌握的话，然后让你在你的 partial 里面用的比较简单的话，你其实会做成 component。那 form builder 里面那个用 component 去把它组成每一个 input。对，然后所以但是这个就是复杂度会稍微高一点。
就是变成两种形式混在一起的话比较难去让入门的人去理解。
对，入门会比较需要，就是考分来写多一点，会比较建议用第二种方法。不然的话，用考分的去包装 helper 的话会比较简单。
Thank you so much. Your question is really great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, our senior too senior answer all the question for me. I'm just junior, everyone. Sorry, my experience is not that great. Yeah. Do you have any other question?
今天人比较少，他来问一下。
There's senior master in here that can answer it. Yeah. Yeah, so after I presented view component, do you guys, I don't know if you want to use it in your future project or not? And have any of you, after see my presentation and all the comparison, do you gonna use your view component in your project? How many of you are gonna use it in your project in the future? Can I ask why? Can I ask why? No? Can you
回答一下。
can you answer my question?
It's not to convince your manager.
Oh, okay. How about your own project? Like your Ruby on Rails project? Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today and all my preferences here. Thank you so much for here. Thank you. Bye-bye.